Okay, call the meeting to order. Joe, you present? Here. Levi?
Here.
Chris, here. We have a forum, able to conduct business this morning. Look at the minutes of last time. Any corrections or additions to those minutes? March 18.
Move we approve. I'll second.
Moved and approved. All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Aye. Okay. The monthly appropriations. Make sure I've got one of your pens here instead of mine.
I'm gonna put that over there for you to sign those minutes and see if you approve it.
Yeah, you could find that's 14 million. Like the county clerk did in Oklahoma County. Oklahoma County. She found 14 million, it stuck somewhere they couldn't spend it because, anyway, we did it.
Who's that?
Gosh, stuck in some account somewhere they didn't find.
Who was this?
Oklahoma County Clerk, Oklahoma County Clerk.
On the how I put it down.
I'm sure y'all don't have your office.
You know, mortgage, everybody that treasurer mortgage tax.
I hadn't noticed that before, maybe they were there, but
Before you file your mortgage.
that's the stamps. Yeah, good luck.
No, that's just the mortgage tax, and then you have to buy the stamps in my office with the mortgage and file.
Well, so what percent is the mortgage tax? How much?
I have to ask the treasurer, I don't know.
I just don't remember seeing that. Maybe we did.
Yeah, it's always been there.
That's it. Okay, do I have a motion to approve
I
the,
move we approve. Second.
motion made and seconded, we approve the monthly appropriations, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Okay, acknowledgement of the transfer of appropriations for Highway Department D1 to CIRB to Highway Department D1 Personal Services in the amount of $14,050.20, and D2 CIRB to D2 Personal Service in the amount of $14,050.19. Acknowledgement, and number 6, of the transfer of appropriations from general government sales tax to rural fire sales tax in the amount of $20,000 to finish out the year. That apply to all the fire departments.
Yeah.
There,
It's real hard.
all of them. Discuss possible action regarding establishing a fund for the court clerk 7301 controlled substances.
And we need to change that to district attorney. And that was actually.
Okay, change the court clerk to district attorney.
Yeah.
Do you need a motion on that?
Yes.
Yes. Move approved.
I second.
Made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
And the next one will be no action because we don't have to set up those accounts in my office. It's a trusting agency, so it's help needs to be.
Discuss possible action regarding establishing a new accounts within the new fund of 7301. That would be the one we just signed.
And that's the one we're going to do no action on because it's not going to be set up in my office. It's a trust and agency account, or a fund, so it won't have anything to do with mine.
Okay, so you want that set up then?
I want it as no action.
No action?
Because we don't have.
So we need a motion and no action.
No, we just say no action.
Okay, no action. Okay.
There you go.
No action on number 8. New business. Anything new?
No, except for the classes that everybody needs to get.
Okay. Need to get with you on, again, mine's on 21st and on direction down there. Okay. I may want to go, if I'm going that far, may want to take in that morning as well as that afternoon. So, we'll look at it.
Know when the excise board was fit meet schools. I guess I could just call them.
Mm-hmm,
That's probably the easiest way.
mm-hmm.
I've got their phone number.
Yeah. Okay. Do I hear a motion then to adjourn the excise?
Motion we adjourn.
Second.
Excise.
Made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
You need to go ahead and say and reconvene as the equalization board.
Okay, we need to, let's just open up the equalization board.
Well, that's what you do, but you
Okay.
need to
Have to
adjourn
have a
the excise
motion.
board
Right.
and reconvene as the equalization board.
No, just the same one, all one motion.
Okay. Motion made and seconded, we reconvene as the equalization
And
board.
who made the motion?
Leave it to me.
Made, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Okay, equalization board. Call the meeting to order. I think we're going to set a minutes here to review.
Need a roll call?
Yes.
Reconvene
Yeah,
the
roll call.
I will. The equalization board. Joe?
Here.
Levi?
Here.
Chris? Here? Also, we have Renetta and Cindy. Okay. All right. Have you read the minutes of the March 18, 2026?
Yeah. I move we approve.
Approved?
Second.
They approved, we approve this one?
Yes.
The minutes of March 18, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Okay. Now we've got the approve or disapprove filing for Freeport exemptions of value-added products. Renee?
And since this is your first time to go through this when we do Freeports, I'll just explain real quick and remind everybody what a Freeport is. It's merchandise that comes into the state, it passes through within 90 days and goes out of the state. So the entity, the company, doesn't get charged for inventory for that because it's only here 90 days or less, coming in and going out.
Basically in transit.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay, value-added products applied, they apply it every year, and on theirs, the assessed value comes to $14,013.
Move approved.
Second.
Made and seconded that we approve the value-added products. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Approve, disapprove the following for Freeport exemptions. Baker, Equalization LLC.
And they also have applied since they've been here, and theirs is, it comes up to assessed value
$14,057. 14,000 must be the magic number this year on everything.
Move we approve.
Second.
Made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Who is this? What do they do?
They are south of town here, and I went back and looked it up again just to double check what they had on there. They do specialty chemicals and stuff for oil and gas. So if you want, you can look at this, but that's what they do here.
They're occupying the old Baker building. Ah, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I wanted to make sure nothing had changed since
Yeah.
last time, so I went in and looked to make sure it was still the same.
Approve or disapprove the following for Freeport exemptions. Cargill Incorporated.
Okay, Cargill's done this for several years, and theirs comes to an assessed value of $229,476
Is what their exemption would be.
Move approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Approve or disapprove the following for Freeport exemptions. Black Hill Service Company. Who's that?
This is an oil and gas company, and we've been told in the past that
We don't do the oil and gas companies because it was ruled on in the courts that that is gas and storage and it comes out of Oklahoma is how the courts have ruled on it. But they applied and have been for the last few years, so we have to discuss it. And they are applying for, I didn't figure this one down to assessed value, but $16,500, and then we would.
Where are they located and what do they do?
They are out of Rapid City, South Dakota.
Okay, where is their business in Woods County?
Yeah, it's gas and storage
Oh,
at
gas
the,
and storage.
North Oakton storage
Well, that doesn't
facility.
work. Move deny.
Yeah. Okay, so this is basically gas and storage that we've had before and the court's ruled in our favor. It is taxable.
A second.
Okay. To deny it.
To deny.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I approve. And motion carried.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. I approve. Okay. Are they the only ones in the open field that's,
Well, we usually have another one, Spire,
yeah.
but they didn't apply for it this year. So,
Okay.
We get denied every year.
yeah.
Okay, review fair market value of personal property with the assessor, which is on the,
No, it's here because when we tried to put it up there, it cut off Shelley's
over
Yeah.
here. So,
They won't go
Um,
at the same time.
Okay, you tell us,
Okay,
that's your
okay.
computer, you tell us
You just tell us.
what you got.
for the assessed value so far, and I'm gonna say, I want everybody to realize these aren't final because we've still got companies assessing and they've got old values in there until they get their new values in. So, and we've still got companies that are assessing, we've got people that have forgot and haven't come in. So there's a lot of things still gonna change. But, right
Okay,
now,
Wait a minute, the deadline is March 15th,
Mhm.
right?
yes,
And if they don't,
Without penalty.
then they suffer a penalty.
they get a 10% penalty. And then as of today, the 15th of April, it'll be a 20% penalty.
And they have so long to come in and change stuff after they get their arbitrary.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got 3 big ones sitting on my desk that we just got in. Well, just got figured. It was a whole mess. A company sold to another company and sold part to another company, and they've sent it under the same 2 names, and they don't know what they're doing. I just got it back, so I need to get it worked today and get it in the mail. And then I've got another big company that they forgot and didn't get it in on time, so
What,
it's not good.
you know what we've had in the past with problems with companies that
Right,
want to
right.
do one thing or another?
Right, yeah,
Are those all in?
yeah.
How is your assessment on that?
Their time isn't up yet to appeal,
Yeah,
so,
well, no. This board has got to review those, what you've got. Tell us who you think you've got that might be a problem, and we need to look at those assessment rates.
so far, nobody's been a problem.
What about the pipelines from last year? We're not buying.
I haven't heard anything. It's, their 30 days isn't up, so I
Well,
haven't
wait
heard
a minute,
anything
30
from them.
days being what?
They have 30 days to protest their value.
No, well, we need to see real fair value. What's the real fair value that you have on those that we know we've got a problem with? That's what we want to look at, is fair market value.
Right.
What is it?
We would just have to look it up by company.
Okay, then let's look up the gas companies. Targa, Syngas,
I know Target's went up.
Targa,
Their value
Syngas,
went up.
and do you assess Energy Transfer? They all do the same thing.
Right.
Okay, all 3 of those, our responsibility is to make sure that all of those people are treated the same.
Mhm.
And last year, we had a problem with income approach, and that's not going to apply this time. Now, so what is the assessment? What's the real fair value that they have turned in? Fair
I
market value.
can't give you that off the top of my head, and they have 30 days to protest.
No.
So until
Fair,
I
well, there is no protest till we review the fair market value.
They protest with me before it ever comes to you guys. They have informal protest and they have formal
Have they
protest.
done that?
No, their 30 days is not up. They have 30 days to do an informal. Their 30 days is not up. So until they get to their 30 days, I won't know unless they,
Okay, now let's be clear here. What is the fair market value that you have on record for these companies? That's what we need to look at. Because we have the ability to raise or lower that fair market value.
At
We
this
have
time,
it.
you don't, because they haven't protested to you.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. You don't have the right to change anything without a protest in front of you.
The assessment rolls shall be available electronically to the County Board of
That's yours
Equalization
right
while
there.
the board is in session in order that the board may correct and adjust taxable value of the property of county. That's our job.
right.
And it's not your job to just accept whatever they do. We need to know, this board needs to know what that value is.
I haven't just accepted what they turn
Well,
in. That's
yeah,
the
well,
reason we
okay.
hire Task, and then
Yeah.
I go do the paperwork and send it back. Then they have 30 days to either accept it or protest it.
No, we need to know what you have. What they have turned in because they had March the 15th to do it. We need to see that number. We're not, this is
I
fair
can
market
give you,
value.
I can give you a total countywide number.
No. Each taxpayer, we need to see if all three of these people are traded the
You
same.
go through all 2,621 pages.
Well, that's fine.
There, it's right there if you want to
Or
scroll through it.
you know these three people, Target, Syngas, and Energy Transfer. They're all, we need to know that they're treated the same. We needed to know what they had turned into you as their assessment. You've got that. You should have it by March the 15th.
No, that's when they didn't send it in the mail. So it's several days later, but yes, I do have it.
Okay,
Yes, it
well,
has worked, and yes, it has been sent to
That's
them.
what we need to know, because if,
You can't
if
just go in and randomly start changing. They've got to have their due process. And their due
there is
process,
no due process to them turning it in to you by the March the 15th. No due process on that. It's there. Now, we have that responsibility to look at that, because if they turn in something that is low, we have the responsibility to adjust higher or lower what they turn in. That's not talking about assessed value. That's talking about fair market value. Now, I don't want to argue with you people. Don't want to do that.
right,
We're protecting you,
right.
so we've got to have that number.
Isn't that what tax does?
That's what we
That's
voted
what tax
for.
does, Chris.
What did they turn, this is the law. We
Right.
need to review that. Those three things, those three companies, we need to see that you have treated them equally.
You can't just pull out three companies. If you're gonna do that, you have to look at everything and everybody.
Then that's why we're here to review this on April 1 to start with. And we're 15 days behind.
No, I think
We're-
it says 20th in there.
It's the April 20th is when we have to have that to you guys. I looked
Says
at it the
April
other
1.
day.
Well, let me
You
read it.
can
to you.
open the board April 1.
It needs to be available to the board beginning at their first session past April 1. That's the law. Here it is.
But the
We
board
have till
technically,
April 20th to get it to you. I just looked it up the
I
other day.
did too.
This is the law, right here, April
Right,
1,
we
and
have
then
the
our
same
first
budget.
section was, or should have been,
the
early.
board
The
technically,
clock is running on us.
I
If you
understand
don't
this.
do your job, we can't do our
I've
job.
been doing my job for 12 years, Chris. This is how it's
They
done.
turn it into us, we work it, we send it back. They have 30
No,
days
no,
to
no,
do
no.
an
We
informal
look at
budget.
it
No,
before
you
you
don't
send
look-
it back.
No, that's not how it works.
I suggest you get with your attorney
Okay,
and find out, because this is the law. I'm reading it. I've been
we have the
through this.
same book.
We've read the book too.
Okay, how do you adjust, section 2842, part B?
I don't know what that is without looking.
Just a minute. The assessment roll shall be available electronically to the county board of equalization while the board is in session, in order that the board may correct and adjust the taxable value of the property of the county. That is our responsibility, to adjust, because we're gonna look at what they sent in. We've got the ability to adjust and correct. Also,
Protest.
How do we know,
It's
Chris?
on
How do we
protests.
know what it's worth? We won't know what it's worth, except,
no, that's why she hires Jerry. And
Yeah.
Jerry should have been on the ball to give you his assessment.
They have.
Has he done that? What's his assessment?
I've already worked
No,
out
no,
paperwork and
we're
sent it
not
to
talking
them.
about that protest process down it. We're talking about now. What is your assessed value of fair market value? Yours, what they sent in, or what Jerry's advising you? What is it?
Task is that's the number we're using, what they sent in.
Okay, what did they send in? We need to see that. Because we know that last time they used a bogus income approach. That was not correct. Now, I don't know whether you've been sued with that or not, but you messed that up.
Okay.
But the question is, what is it today? You've got their assessment rate, what is it? That is what they turn in to fair market value. What does your people say?
I don't have that in front of me. All I have is this, the whole county.
Well, you know, they turned it in, what did they turn in? You've got that.
I would have to know the account number to pull it up.
What, you know whether Target's turned it in, you know whether Simgas turned it in?
They've all turned them in.
Okay, what are they?
I do not know off the top of my head.
Why don't you?
Because we deal with
It's millions of dollars.
We deal with hundreds of companies too, so one number's not gonna stick in our head.
No, but you've got the form. They've sent it in for
We
you.
don't have it in front of us. We
Well,
can't
it's up
just
there
pull
in
it
your
out of our
office.
head.
It's in your office, you processed it.
Yes.
What is it?
I don't know, Chris.
Chris, you can't expect them to remember that now.
No, I'm saying, you've got the form, you get it in front of us. We need to know,
Until it
that's our
comes to a formal
responsibility.
protest, you guys aren't.
We're not talking about a protest. Our protest is gonna be with you. If you don't get that in front of us for us to know what they have turned in, and if you don't tell us what your position is, what you have sent them, we've got a problem. That starts and ends right here. So go get them. You got the paper. You've got a paper. What, do you enter it into your computing system?
Well, what good is it going to do us to know that? We don't have the authority, we do not have the information to change that. We don't.
We don't have the information, period. It's our responsibility
You
to
can't-
review it, Joe,
But what good would it do?
because
can't
we
change
can
anything.
lower or raise.
I bet we cannot do that without some kind of information, some kind of evaluation, what task does. You're going to have some kind of knowledge of how they did it, or what the total was, and why they did that. We can't do that just off the top of our head right here even if we get that evaluation, we can't change it.
We have the ability to have oversight of her office as to how they arrived at the assessed value. How are you going to do that? It starts with fair market value. That's what we look at. We don't look at the product down the road. We look at fair market value. What's your fair market value? You ought to know that. Jerry, that's what he's hired to do.
He's not done yet.
No. This is April 15th. That's 30 days that our clock is running.
I understand that.
No,
I can
you
understand.
don't, Joe.
Yeah, I do, because
Because if we're waiting on them to do a protest, that runs our clock all the way
You
through
have
the
to
middle
wait
of
for
June.
them to do a
Yeah.
protest. The companies have their right to protest.
They don't
their
have the
30
right
days.
to
They
tell.
have 30 days
No,
from the
now
day they
Cindy,
get
you're
it.
wrong.
No, no.
Yes, you are. We're talking about fair market value. We have the right to look at that right now. Now,
It's
starting
just-
on April 1.
It's right here.
This
Look
personal
at it.
property
Okay.
is the same as real estate. Everybody has their due process, and they have 30 days from the time they send them, when we send them those values,
To
to
protest.
protest
They
it.
have their informal, if they don't like that, then they protest to the board, which is
And
their
then you
formal.
guys can do whatever you
And then you guys have
want.
the chance to do what you want to do.
I think he just wants to see what you evaluated it at.
Then we have the responsibility to know what they turned in and what you processed that needs to be there. What do you think it needs to be? You've got that. If you don't, you should have. What's their assessment? Is it 113,000 million like it was last year that you supposedly settled with?
It went up, I know that, but I don't know.
Okay, how did it go up? Did it go up because they added something?
Values have changed.
No,
Every,
no. Did it go up because they added some in?
Chris, I don't know off the top of my head, without all that paperwork in front of me.
Okay, well, go get the the
I don't
assessment that's
believe that
sent into
we
you.
should be singling out certain companies
Well,
right
it comes
now.
in-
And
It comes in singly to you, don't you have that?
yes, but that is not for public to be looking at all of that.
It's for the board to look
Only
at.
if there's a protest,
No,
yes.
no, Cindy, you're wrong. You're wrong.
If you come
No,
into
I'm
our
not- I'm
office,
not gonna
all we
argue
can
with
give
you.
you
You
is
need
a
to-
value. You can't see their assessment. You can only see a
I'm
value.
not looking at the
As a
assessment,
board.
I'm looking at real, fair market value. That's what we're looking at. We don't care about the assessment. That's when it goes through your application. We want to see what they turned in as fair market value. We have that responsibility
How do you
and
do that?
obligation.
So we
Now, let's
look at
see
that, what can we do about it?
Go get it. They
You
turned
can't
it in.
single out a certain company just because you want to look at it.
No, they turned it into you.
Yes.
They didn't have,
And it's confidential.
no, it's not. It goes before the board. We got the
Unless
right
there's a protest,
and
it's
the reason,
confidential.
no, you're off the protest business. We are not protesting yet. No protest. We want to see what it is. We want to know what your numbers are because we have the responsibility to make sure all of them are treated equal. That's our responsibility. You read it, you understand it, the whole book says that. The
And
fair
I-
and equitable treatment of all taxpayers, we want to see that.
And if you're just looking at numbers, how's that going to tell you whether or not they're treated fairly or not? All you have is a number.
Well-
Every company has different equipment, different inventory,
Are you treating them, are you treating these companies purchase price, reliable sales comparison, or income approach?
all three have to be looked at.
No, I know. That's what we're asking for. We want to know if you look at them and if you corrected what they've sent in.
I've hired Task to do that.
Well, get them, yeah, you have. Get them here. We need to see that number. They've had, from January 1,
Nobody
To
turned
see if
it
they-
in on
yes.
January 1st.
they've had from January 1 to know if anything's been added or taken away from their assessment from previous time. That's January 1.
Right,
Had they added anything, Jerry should know that.
right.
If they've taken anything away,
Maybe we should.
they should have notified you, we don't have X number of
Okay, Chris,
miles. Wait a minute.
maybe we should have subpoenaed Task to come, because we have this review of fair market value versus property with the assessor on here. But I don't see how we can do anything, she can tell you that they went from 113 to 118 million, but she can't tell you why, because Task isn't here. That's why we picked that.
They're the employees of them. Now, it's our responsibility to check the fairness of this. And we can't do that without seeing these three
You can't
companies,
check
are
the
they?
fairness with looking at the total assessment and seeing what all the
I-
equipment's
We're
turned
not
in.
interested in your total assessment on the county.
How do you know if it's fair if you're not looking at what
We're,
was turned
we're
in?
looking at
You're
how did
looking at
they,
numbers.
how did they arrive at their assessment rate? Are they taking,
Ask Task.
are they taking,
That's what Task does.
That's
I
what
have a
Task
Zoom
is
meeting
hired
with them
for.
tomorrow to go over what's gone up, what's gone down, what's changed from.
what do you mean you're meeting with them tomorrow? We're supposed to be looking at this April 1 plus, because that clock runs at April 1.
And Jerry
Everything's not
usually
done
has a
by
meeting
April 1st.
every year before protest time to make sure we
We're-
understand what has changed, what's gone up, what's gone down, what's the same as last year.
Hey, I'm not talking about protest time. I'm talking about our responsibility to see what the fair market value has been from their point and from your point. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about
Chris, we're
assessment.
going round and round in
Now,
circles.
Joe,
Hey, I can get up and walk out, okay, I'm
okay,
sorry.
you can, but just understand,
I understand
what our
what
job
your name
is.
I do, but they can't give us, I don't see where we
Yes,
can go.
they can. She done it.
She can tell us what it is, and so what? We
Yeah.
can't do anything about it
We're-
until Task does their job. Right?
When's Task's
I
job
don't know.
supposed to be before us?
Well, maybe
Or
we
before
should have
you.
told them to do it quicker, but I
Yeah.
think they're
We
doing
told
things
them
like
that.
they used to.
Our job is to review that. We can't review it if we don't have the numbers, period. And don't give me the idea you can't look at the entire thing and separate them from
Can you
12,900
separate just
others.
individual
You
companies?
can't do that. You got the individual company that sent to you, what's the number? When you get that, you're not waiting on all of your business. You've got specific people that Jerry's been hired to say, well, this is right or this is wrong. How did they arrive at their value? That's important to us. It's not gonna be an income value.
Right.
And you know why? I wanna know if you know why.
Why?
Because they misappropriated the meaning of income last year. Jerry sits in this office with a protest and says, well, I've seen something, but you can't see it. That does not fly. That's not the meaning of income approach. It is what the reserves or what the ability is for you to earn money, not what you earned last year based on your income. And that's the way it fell last year. It's not gonna happen this time. I can tell you, if it's income, it's gonna be way more than what purchase price or comparable sales is gonna be. Because I've researched it, I've had my attorneys look at it.
Okay.
I know what I'm talking, I'm in the business.
Right.
I know from the point of executing leases to the point of going to the corporation commission with protests and hearings and all the information that they have about the reserves. I know all that. And when you say income approach, I'm not at all convinced you can use, I didn't make any money last year, so you don't lower my taxes. That's what happened last year. That's not the way you apply your evaluation to the farmer, to the royalty people. You don't do that. So, the point is, we're 30 days past being able to start the clock. And you are-
Technically, you weren't supposed to start opening the board until this month. So
Well-
today would have been the first meeting. We wouldn't have had
It
this.
could have been the first meeting on April 1, and you have, if you're ready. For us
We
to
weren't ready
review,
on April 1 because we don't have to be ready until April 20th.
you got documentation for that?
Yes, it's in the book.
No.
Yes,
That's
it
the
is.
mailing, that's the mailing.
I'm not arguing about this.
Okay.
I'm done.
You know, the mailing process can be easily resolved. March the 15th is the day you're supposed to have it. Well, I mailed it on the 15th. Okay, and you don't get it till
For a week
March
or
the
so.
20th, or
Right.
April the
Yeah.
30th.
Mhm.
You could have certified it with a tracking number.
We had one that went back to a company that, or one
They
that was
sent
sent to us that
They
was
sent it to
certified
us,
return
that was
receipt.
certified return receipt,
Just
the
last
post
week.
office returned it.
It got
What
returned.
was the tracking number?
I don't have it because it was sent to us and it went back to the
So
company.
they
Yeah,
called
but there is
the
a tracking number. When did they mail it?
I don't have any idea, but they
Well,
mailed it on
it's-
time because they sent it in and they sent the envelope and everything.
They ended up,
It's the post office
The
that
post
messed it
No,
up.
no, we're not gonna blame the post office for this. There's ways,
Whatever.
there's ways to get past the post office problem.
how?
Certified tracking, or,
And they
Okay.
did, and it went
They
back to
did,
them.
and it went back to the company. They called to ask us
Well,
if
that's
we
their
had
problem.
changed our PO
They're
box, and we
delinquent.
said no. No, they're not delinquent, because
mailed
they
it.
did mail it on time. The post office returned it wrongly.
why?
We
I
don't
don't know,
know.
ask the post office. That's what we've been trying to figure out.
Well, our problem is, we need these numbers in front of us by April 1, so that we can do our job. Which means, if you read this, we can raise or lower those numbers before ever you send it back out to them. Now, you understand that?
I think you have to have a reason to do that.
The
Do-
reason to do that is fair
You
and
can't
equitable
see
treatment
what-
Yeah, but
between
that doesn't mean,
the
you
three.
got, okay, fine, fair and equitable, you gotta have a reason for that. Fair is
Yes, there is.
evaluations.
Fair is they need to have a reason you're changing.
Yeah.
Look at the statute.
I have, and you
If
have to
you
have a
can-
reason to change it.
If you treat one company different than another, you've got a problem.
And we don't.
Well, how do we know that?
Well, I would
Because
hope
we
because
don't
that's
have-
our job.
Because we don't have your assessment. We don't have that. And that's what we're asking for. Now get it through your mind, we're trying to protect you,
I understand that,
and if
Chris.
you don't do that, we don't have oversight of your business. And that is our job, is oversight. And if you haven't gotten it in front of us so that we can look at it and know that everything was treated the same, there is a problem.
How are you gonna tell it it's treated the same?
Well, we gotta have the document in front of us.
That
If you
document.
just have numbers, you can't tell.
Yeah, you're right, Chris, you're just gonna get numbers,
And
you
you don't
can't tell.
have a right to look
How
at
did
anything
how
else.
did they arrive at the number?
You don't have a right to see all of that
Yes, we
unless
do,
there is
ma'am.
a protest.
Yes,
No,
we
you
do.
don't. No, you
Raise and
don't.
lower taxes, Part B.
If there's a protest.
No, it doesn't say that.
Okay, do you guys want to know what the taxable, what the assessed value is that we have so far right now for the county?
No, not for the county. We wanna know this particular business.
I don't have it.
What do you mean you don't have it?
I
They
don't
sent
have
it
it,
to
it's
you.
not right here in front of me. And I'm not gonna single out a company just because you wanna look at one company.
We wanna look at
It's
those
I'm
three.
not doing it. Not without a
Okay.
lawyer telling me to do it, I'm not doing
Okay,
it.
you better check with your lawyer.
Okay.
You have one on retainer, right?
Yes.
You asked them if Part B is correct or not. To review Part B, here it is. Read it.
We've got the same paper.
Read it. Part B, outlined in yellow. Read it for the record. I just want to know that you know what we're talking about.
If there should be lawful adjustments necessary. Lawful adjustments, meaning
Yeah.
with the
That
The
means,
protests.
that means we know, that
lawful
means we look at it when you get it to see whether you've done your job.
adjustments necessary. There is a law you have to
Don't-
follow as
Don't
your
try to
board.
interpret how you feel. Talk to your lawyer. Talk to your lawyer. This is
Keep
plain.
it off.
Okay.
We have the responsibility to oversee what you're doing here with the fair market value. You understand that?
I understand, Chris. If you want to do my job, then you
No,
should
no,
have been
you
filed for
understand
my
our job.
I've been doing it for 12 years.
And I've been for 25 on this
Okay.
place.
And I've been here for 21.
So if you're not giving us fair market value for us to review.
It's not gonna tell you anything. The number's not gonna tell you
You
anything.
get it in front of us and it will tell us.
Do you have a
get
number?
Jerry's numbers, if you're relying upon Jerry,
Do
you
you
get
have a
that in
number
front
in
of
your
us.
head that you
and
think
we're
that
gonna
company
say-
should be assessed at? Do you have a number in your head that that
No.
company should be assessed at? Then how
No,
are you
I
gonna
wanna know
anything?
which way you did it, whether it was,
Well, that's two
Purchase
different
price?
options. That's two different things.
give me an example. 5 years ago, purchase price, Jerry's numbers was $277 million.
And we told you that those were incorrect numbers.
And we approved those numbers. And we sent it.
Knowing that they were incorrect numbers,
No.
we had to use
No.
what we had available at the time.
No, Jerry did a research on miles of pipe, size of pipe, all of, everything that Jerry looked at was a matter of record. He gave that to us.
Correct.
And from 5 years of 277 million, it came down last year to 113 million by way of your agreement with them. Now, that's a big difference, and Jerry said, Well, it might have been overflated a little bit, but I looked at their records and I got with them.
They
And
wouldn't
they
furnish
convinced-
the records, that's the reason we went to court.
But it didn't go through court. It settled out of court,
That's
didn't
the reason there was a lawsuit, is because they would not furnish the records.
it? No, the reason why is because the assessment was wrong. You
But they
assessed it
same
at
thing.
Because they wouldn't
277.
give us they would not give us the stuff that we needed to do it. That's why.
The
That's why it
inspection,
went to court.
now wait a minute, Cindy, the inspection rate is out there. They've got X number of miles of pipeline in Woods County. They've got X number of locations in Woods County, compressors or whatever. They've got that. That's your job, is to go inspect those things. That is your job. You physically know that they're there. They agree to it. They give you those numbers. And then you come up with, or Jerry comes up with, yeah, but I've seen their numbers, which basically was income numbers, not reality of how many miles of pipe they've got, how many compressors, that wasn't part of it. It was their income. Now, last year it appeared that there was a cozy relationship between Jerry and their person, which was an accounting firm. Target's got physical people and physical records of what they own, and we have the ability to subpoena those. Nobody else does. This board can. What's their real record? What do they own? Now, my problem here is, that's not up to date. I want to see, did this company take off equipment or mileage that is not usable, abandoned, or plugged? They didn't, they haven't done that. Have they added anything? You know whether they added anything by way of easements. Did they add pipeline because they got a new easement? Comes through your office. That's your responsibility to check her office to see if any additions have been added. The second part of that is, what's the value of pipe in the ground? 4-inch, 6-inch plastic, poly pipe, steel. You all know that. That's a matter of fact. If you're going to take the income approach, like they did last year, it's not what you made, it's the value of the product in Woods County, and that's already approved by the court. That's already done. When they apply for an increased density or a respacing, that goes through the commission, it's verified. Marion advertises that the commission files in the paper. That's done. When you're talking about reserves, that's a matter of record. In their example, when we went to test last year's presentation at the Votech school, the guy said, I'm not an expert, I can't, and they kicked him out. Duh. The only thing they had to do was just go to the record and look. The commission approved so many values of gas in the field, and I know how the process works. It's not whether they made income or not. It's not whether they divided the Woods County from the Kansas people. That's not the issue. We don't care. The issue was, what's the value of the product that's been affirmed by the court in Woods County, and that is a matter of record. So that dispels the income approach that they used on us before. And Jerry. So we want to know what the value is of the pipe, the meters, the stuff in Woods County. That's not hard. That's your job. You first use the income, the purchase price. You know, my understanding was the $277 million was a product of 1998 when they bought it from Western. I assume that's the beginning of that process. You depreciated it through time, they added stuff to it. They should have taken away things that's still on record that they haven't. Everybody's record is not complete here. And that's why we're asking here, let's look at what they turned in this year. We want to know how they're going to assess, or they assume their taxable liability is. Is it income approach like it has been? Or is it fair market value based on purchase price? Simple question. If it's fair market value on the purchase price, that's no problem. If it's likable sales, that's no problem. If it's income approach, then it's not going to be the problem they used last time. Is Jerry seen it, but we can't see it? That's over with. We've got to be transparent here. And transparency means, how did they figure their liability? That's what we want to look at. I suggest that you go back, those companies involved with what we've had problems with last time, and you tell us how they assessed it. You tell us what, you've got that. And don't tell me you can't. When it comes in, you know very well, because you key it in. You know the number. You know who they are. You can key it in.
You know, I don't know that we can look at those if just, I don't want to see that. I've read that, but that doesn't mean you can pick out only three companies to look at and not look at all of them.
We can look at it. We've got the responsibility of looking at all of them. But we've not had a problem with real estate. We've not had, because you send those out.
I have some protests with real estate on my desk right now that
Well,
I am trying to get through.
that informal hearing, that's a problem that is based on last year's value, isn't it? Like your real estate, you don't go out and reevaluate that every year, do you? No, it's based on last year. But these companies, which is personal property, that's non-agriculture, that is your target. And we know where we've been with the pipeline company. We know where that's been. And that's what we're asking.
You might.
Is, are you up to
You might
speed on that?
call Jerry and talk to him. You can
We
do
want
that.
his numbers. If you're relying upon him to tell you what their number is, you call it. And we will have another, when you get that information into us, then we'll look at it. And if we look at it and don't like it, the rules are very plain here what we do. We tell you on a certain form that we do not approve. We raise it or lower it, and then it's your responsibility to send it to them. You know that's the rule.
I think you're going to have reason to do that. Or you
Well,
get
the
beat-
reason
or you get
to
beat for it.
do it, Joe, is we don't know
No,
what the.
you cannot just blatantly
Yes.
raise it unless you have a reason to.
Yeah, and we're trying to get to that reason, Joe. What did they send in?
Yeah, but
What's
we
your
aren't the
assessment
authority
send
here.
in? Yes, we do. We do have.
There's a reason.
Now, I don't want to argue with you guys. You better be checking with an attorney as to whether the law applies to the Equalization Board having the authority to look at the fair market value, and that's what we're trying to do. We want to look at the fair market value, and then if it doesn't comply with all three of them that are in that same business, then we got a problem. And if Jerry doesn't give you a number, our clock starts April 1. And I can tell you how this thing runs. We're not waiting till 30 days after a protest. You know what that does? That puts you in total control.
How does
If
it
they-
put in control?
If they send in an assessment of value and you say, I don't want to go to court with them, so I'm going to agree to theirs, and you're not even going
I
to
don't do that.
provide, we don't know that. That's our oversight.
You know,
We don't know that.
I was elected to the office, so I would think if people thought I was doing that, that somebody else would be in my position.
We,
Do you
we're
not
trying
trust
to
what we're
protect
doing?
you.
It sounds to me like you say you don't trust what we're doing.
No, we're trying to protect you.
okay, I think we've done this
If-
enough. I
if
move
you
we
don't-
adjourn.
If you don't lay this number
Give me
in
a
front of
second.
us, and we see your number,
We're going in
we
circles
don't have
here.
any protection. And if they don't protest, we don't, there is no protection anywhere. We've not done our job.
Protest, there's no reason.
So your
I'll
numbers
second
are
the
important.
motion. It's been moved and seconded, Chris, that we adjourn.
I don't accept it yet.
Hey, you
We're not
don't
there.
have that authority. You can't do that. I vote yes.
I vote
I'm
no.
done.
Yes. If you want to adjourn, the motion been made and adjourned,
And it's been seconded.
been seconded, all in favor?
Joe
Glad.
voted yes, and I do.
And I say no. We're not through.
Well, but you're,
Okay,
we
I'm
don't have a